Okay, so I'm at an American high school right now. I've never seen anything like this as an Englishman. It's so cool. Look at this. Look, it's literally like a movie. I'm literally in a movie right now. Look at the stadium. The football goals. Come on, this is sick. I literally feel like I'm in Back to... Okay, so I'm at an American high school right now. I've never seen anything like this as an Englishman. It's so cool. Look at this. Look, it's literally like a movie. I'm literally in a movie right now. Look at the stadium. The football goals. Come on, this is sick. I literally feel like I'm in Back to the Future. Literally feel like I'm in an American High School Musical movie right now. Tell me this is not like everyone's dream in the UK. Sit up here, watch a game, watch a bit of the old football. This is so sick, mate. This is so sick.
This is a high school stadium facility in Texas. In England, this would be a professional setup.
But they're for good.
One of the most common questions I get from Europeans now that I live abroad is, was American high school really like that? The cafeteria and the lockers, and like, did everyone get bullied? Like, was bullying big? And I have to tell them with a heavy heart that yes, all of it's kind of true. Obviously it's dramatized in movies, but I don't know how to explain the evil that lurked inside my heart when I was in high school. How it like wasn't unique to me. Like, we were all little monsters to each other. Like, this is the face of pure evil, believe it or not. It's just kind of constant. I mean, I'm from a small town in the Midwest, and I do think there is a very real evil that lies in the Midwest, so that's one thing. But it's not like it's like overt bullying all the time. It's a lot of cattiness, and it's a lot of like talking behind each other's back, a lot of just like out of pocket comments. I once told a girl with my whole chest, I said to her she looked like a clam. How do you think of that? That's so messed up. I have to live with that every day of my adult life. I have to know that I called another person a clam. Every time I meet up with someone from high school that I like don't regularly keep in contact with, it's always kind of like, hey, like, how are you? Like, you look like you're doing, yeah, you look like you're doing so well. Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you. I'm so sorry. No, I'm sorry. No, I was insane. No, I'm so sorry for everything I did and said. And it's because we were all evil. It's because we were all evil, and we all do grow out of it, but we all have to live with the weight of what we've done. She may look innocent, but she told another girl that she looked like a clam. I don't think she follows me on here, but if you are the girl that I told looks like a clam, I am actually genuinely very sorry. That was really...
Americans will never understand the desire of a European wanting to go to an American high school. I grew up with Disney Channel and Nickelodeon shows, and I romanticized these shows so much. It was always my biggest dream to go to one of these high schools and have this like typical life with yellow school buses and cheerleaders and football games and all of that. And by the way, they filmed a Disney Channel show at this specific school.
What would you say is the biggest difference between school in Germany and school in the United States?
I would definitely say that the classes here are more fun. There are way more classes here. Like, for example, I took graphic design or even floral design, which was completely new to me, and it was completely different to the classes I had in Germany, because in Germany the classes are more, like, way more superficial. It's just English, math, German, and here you have all these fun classes.
How do teachers compare?
Oh, the teachers here are more open, I would say, and more welcoming, and they're more everything, like the whole relationship is more on a personal level, and in Germany I would say it's kept more on a professional level. I would say that's the biggest difference.
What about school spirit?
Oh, I think school spirit here is more of a big thing because of sports. Like, you have the football games, so the school spirit here is insane compared to Germany, because we don't have any like after school sports there. Oh yeah, pep rallies and dress up weeks. big thing. Especially dress up weeks, they're so fun, and there are so many as well, like so many dress up weeks where you can dress up and have fun, and I'd say that's one of my favorite things about school, actually, that you can actually dress up.
What do we love about American schools as Brits living here in Florida? My children really love this one. One day a week they get to finish an hour early so they can go and hang out with their friends, go to the mall, go to the public swimming pool. We have only ever seen this in the movies, but going to an American school, you have the chance to ride to school on the American yellow school buses. We love that you get a locker with a padlock on, so only you can access this, that the work is easier in American schools. They like the fact that there is no GCSEs, so your whole high school experience doesn't boil down to that one test at the end of your 5 years of high school. Marks that you get for your work in American school, you can take quizzes that will earn you 20% of your grade. You can do assignments and coursework that give you about 30% of your grade. So each piece of work that you do will help you toward your grade. So some of the subjects, if you end up getting 70%, then you can actually drop out of that course and then concentrate on your other work. So this one is a little bit expensive for the parents, but they get more than one prom. They get junior prom, they get senior prom, they get homecoming. You get to celebrate the end of high school by going to graduation and wearing your cap and your gown. If you live close to the school, when there is a sports match going on, you can hear the families, the friends and the supporters roaring from down the street. I'm sure my children will find many more reasons over the years as to why they love American school. If you like this video, please give me a like and a share, and if you do like my content, I would appreciate the follow. Thanks.
We go to school in Miami. Of course, it's picture day, and my hair's gonna be frizzy in about like 6-7 minutes. We go to school in Miami. Of course, we line dance on Fridays.
Go to school in Miami. Of course, the weather could look so clear right now. In 5 minutes, it could start raining. Okay.
We go to school in Miami. Of course, after school, we go right to Don Juan and get an empanada after school.
We go to school in Miami. Of course, we have the Miami accent.
We go to school in Miami. Of course, we get Starbucks every morning.
We go to school in Miami. Of course, we wear hoodies in 90-degree weather.
Hands on your heart.
Hand on my heart.
And pledge your undying allegiance to this nation.
As someone who was born and raised in Iceland, when I came to the US for the very first time and saw this in schools, it was so fucking weird. Because you know what we're used to? We're used to, morning Bob, morning Ted, you ready to get this math class on? I am indeed, let's do it. And that would be the start of the day. Or breakfast. Here, when I introduced myself to the class, literally they went, all right, put your hand on your chest and do the thing. And I'm just standing over everyone just like, what? So I put my hand on my chest and I'm just like copping myself a feel. And then I'm just mumbling to myself and then decided to look up what it actually meant. The only thing that I can think of is Germany. So after that, I decided to stop. And because of it, not only did I get bullied from random kids on the street, but also my fucking math teacher. That indoctrination runs deep.
In Germany, we're not allowed to use our phones in the classroom, but we can use them in the breaks. The teachers don't collect our phones in the morning, and we can carry them around with us all day.
How is it in the US?
Here in Florida, most of our teachers have like little bins or sleeves you can put your phone into. Some other teachers don't really care about phones that often. For the most part, we're allowed to be on our phones, but unless the teacher has something to put it in, you're supposed to put it.
The thing is, like, the maths is not that deep. The food in American high schools is so horrible. I went for like one day, obviously, if you can't tell, I went to an American high school. The munch they served. Have you ever seen fish fingers that look like this? No. You know why? Because this is like horse meat or something, I'm not going to lie. This is some nuclear energy, GMO made food. And in America, the gravy isn't brown in America. The gravy is white. I asked like my friends, like, yo, what's this? They said it's white gravy, like it was normal. Have you ever heard of white gravy? I rate this, you know. This is the only nice thing. It was just chocolate milk, I'm not going to lie. It was nice though. This, it was just dead. I don't remember what it was just dead. And this was also just dead. Everyone in my comments said it's Michelle Obama's fault. They said like, you can thank Michelle Obama for the food. What did Michelle Obama do to make the food this bad? Also, if you're watching this, please don't follow me on TikTok because I don't want to like get more followers on TikTok than YouTube, and then I have to like become a TikTok.
All right, so what does this say? Private school student in Switzerland. It's okay. We get a lot of the private school stuff because they seem to make more content than the public schools, but we do have public schools as well. I don't even make lamb like this. Come on. Even the bowls are nice. Jesus. Some butter chicken there, or like curry. Lunch as a private school student in Sus. I'm guessing that's just Switzerland. Let me attend just for the food, bro. I'd be snoozing after that. That didn't look too heavy, did it? It just looked like a piece of lamb with little potatoes.
Good question. Good question. So, for kids in school, they'll get off throughout the year. So they get like Christmas. They usually get like 2 weeks off, Christmas and New Year's. They'll get a week off for spring break. They will get a week off for, they call it a winter break. It's usually in February. They'll get another couple days off here and there for holidays. In summertime, they get off from, it's usually where we live, the last week of May is the last week of school. And then they go back to school the first week of August. But see, the problem is that parents don't have that off. I mean, that's a lot of weeks off. We don't get that much vacation like you see in my video here that you commented on. So it's really tough that kids are off school. So a lot of kids in America go to summer camp because parents are working. You know, I usually take off, if I have 3 weeks vacation, I usually take off for 1 week in summer, usually take off that week, one of the weeks of Christmas, into New Year's, and then usually you take one of the either spring break or that February holiday off, but that's it. The rest of the time you can't take off, but your kids are off. Kids are off way more than working people are here in America. So it's crazy to hear that there's a law there to have days off, because there's no law here. Part-time people here usually don't even get paid vacation at all. So unfortunately, you know, this is how it is here. I'm salary, so I get the standard 2 weeks is usually standard. At my new job, I fought for a third week, and I was like, I have to have a third week off. In my negotiation, they gave it to me, so I got lucky. But yeah, 3 weeks is pushing it.
This Texas high school have just built a $56 million stadium. Not 56 million Zimbabwean dollars, 56 million US dollars. I need to ask, as sports fans, why is no one talking about what is happening in Texas right now? Because where on earth is a high school getting $56 million for a football field? Lads, this is state of the art. Bro, they ain't skimped on this place. They've got the 2-tier stands. They've got the lovely running track going around. They're utilizing every square inch. They've got like this media studio or something. I do hope that some of the students get to use this. They've even got a lecture hall. They've got all the new TVs. Like, look at the lovely flooring. Like, it overlooks the field as well. Like, this is not cheap. It's not just a one-off, you know. These guys have been doing it for ages. Like, you want us to believe that this stadium belongs to a high school, a place for 16-year-olds to learn Pythagoras. And on Friday nights, those same 16-year-olds are treated like professional athletes. I mean, I rate it. And you know what? I've watched Friday Night Lights. This is one of my favorite films. And it does give you an insight into the scale of high school football, especially in Texas in the United States. By the way, if you've never watched this film, then I urge you to do so, especially if you're an American football fan. It's actually very good. But yeah, I learned from Friday Night Lights that Texas high school football is huge. Just as a comparison, this is where I played high school football. Over here in the UK, your high school stadium is considered state of the art if you've got AstroTurf. I mean, Texas high schools don't even fight in that weight class. We need to look at Premier League stadiums. Hey, this weren't Premier League and they were playing in like League 2, but this is where Brighton and Hove Albion were playing their games in the mid-2000s. This is where Luton Town Football Club currently play their games. They were playing Premier League football 18 months ago. I mean, Bournemouth's is lovely as well, but it is the same price and the same capacity as a Texas high school stadium. The sporting infrastructure in America puts the...
Bro, this is so crazy. It's all real. Cheerleaders, like the band.
Seeing like non-American reactions to like American stuff is always so funny to me, because one, you didn't sneak into a high school football game. You're allowed to be there. It's like an open event people just go to. Also, like, yeah, a lot of the stuff that we see on TV is based some part in reality. Like, of course, we have yellow school buses. It seems like whenever Europeans talk about America, they'll say the most crazy out-of-pocket things about America, convinced that it's true, but for some reason have trouble believing that, like, prom happens or that we have yellow school buses. Like, that's somehow too far for them. Like, they'll say in full confidence, oh, you guys only will have tests that are multiple choice, like all throughout school, like in like college is only multiple choice. But I'll say like, yeah, I rode in a yellow school bus. I'll be like, whoa, really? Like, you actually did that? Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy that my school bus was yellow. I'm sorry.
American high schools never fail to shock me. Like, what do you mean your cafeteria has a 7-Eleven, a McDonald's, and a Taco Bell inside of it? Seriously, what? The cafeteria is the size of a whole ass shopping mall, man. In my school, lunch was just a normal cafeteria meal. But I guess in the States, every lunch break would feel like going to your local plaza. I mean, no wonder y'all actually look forward to lunchtime. And it's not just the food, it's the fact that these schools routinely have an Olympic-sized swimming pool and a literal football stadium that could size thousands of people. What? And you know what's the kicker? Most of these schools aren't even elite private schools. This is just a random public school in Texas or Illinois. And if you don't believe me, literally just search biggest high school in America and your mind will be blown. Dude, they look like massive university campus. The schools are bigger than my university. The sheer scale gets to me. These mega schools have 7,000 students in them. To put that in perspective, most high schools in Asia have around 600 students. Like, I literally cannot conceptualize 7,000 students in one building. That's not a school. That's a small city. How do you find your friends? How do you find your homeroom? And if you go to these schools, please tell me in the comments. Is it an absolute nightmare to go to these schools, or is it low-key goated? Either way, I will be forever jealous of you.
One thing that still blows me mind about Texas is the size of the high school stadiums. This is the one I work at. In England, that would be a professional stadium. In Texas, just your average high school.
One thing a lot of exchange students don't realize before they arrive in America is that your school actually decides a lot of your exchange year experience. A lot of exchange students ask me questions like, can I play football on exchange? Can I be on the soccer team? What grade will I be in? Can I go to prom? Will I get to graduate? And all of these questions have the exact same answer. It depends on the school that accepts you. Every high school in the United States makes its own rules for exchange students. Some schools will let exchange students play any sport. Others might say you only get to do JV. And some schools don't allow exchange students in sports at all. The same thing is also true of your grade placement. For example, my high school allows exchange students to be seniors, but other schools might place exchange students as juniors or even sophomores instead. And then there are the big moments like prom or graduation ceremonies or senior activities. Some schools allow exchange students to participate in everything, and other schools limit what you're able to do. So a lot of those experiences don't get decided until your school placement is finalized. And I know that can feel frustrating because you really want to know every detail of your exchange year ahead of time. But one of the unusual parts of the American school system is that every school is different. Your placement doesn't just determine where you live, it also shapes all those things like sports and grade level and activities, and sometimes even those major events like prom or graduation. So it's part of what makes every exchange year completely unique. Two students could come to the same state and have totally different experiences depending on which school accepts them. So if you're planning your exchange year and you're wondering about all those things, just remember, your school placement is one of the biggest pieces of the puzzle.
How did you react when you found out that American's final exam is multiple choice? A multiple choice exam for the final. What are we doing?
British people cannot be real because they genuinely think every American test is multiple choice. And like, if you go and look in the comment section, every comment is like, oh my God, Americans are so stupid. They don't have essay questions, or, they don't have to write anything out, or they don't have multi-part questions. And it's like, no, we actually do. The joke just writes itself because they think every American test is multiple choice and they're calling us stupid for that. But do you know how stupid you have to be to actually believe that? Some of these dummies are like, oh, you can literally get a degree by just guessing your entire 4 years. Yeah, that's not actually how it works, right? Do you know the probability of passing one exam by purely guessing, let alone an entire 4 years worth? Like, are you stupid? We have some multiple choice exams. Some, not all. We do have a lot where it's open-ended, where you gotta write it out, where it's multi-part, where one answer is dependent on another answer. Yeah, we have a bunch of those actually. I swear to you, people from the UK especially just make up random-ass lies about America, and then everybody in their comment section below.
Hey guys, we're in entrepreneurship right now. We're not really doing anything because we have a sub, so I'm studying for my psychology test. Eva! Bro. He's so funny. Is it? What? Like, is this Okay, so I'm in world history right now and we're staying outside. I have to like watch these videos. She's Doing nothing.
I'm actually helping her.
Yeah, kind. Well, anyway, I just kind of come out and sit outside because it's just nicer.
It's really cold inside.
Yeah, it's always cold inside, and I'm still doing my work outside, and my teacher trusts me. So
yeah,
yay! Look at that, is a squirrel. Oh my god.
Hi, my name is Anaya. I'm a French exchange student in the United States for the whole 2025-2026 school year, and today I'm just going to explain to you a bit of the differences between high school in France and in the US. So the first thing that's really different is school schedule and everything. So in my high school, we start school at 8:45 and we finish it at 3:54. So we have 6 periods during the day plus lunch of 45 minutes. It's short school days because we have sports and activities right after school, and it's really like shorter and easier time periods. We also have the same schedule every day, which was not something that we had in France, and we only have school from Tuesday to Friday because Monday is a day where you can go to school if you have to retake a test, if you have to see teachers, or like if they ask you to go to school, but you do not have to go to school every Monday, which is pretty fun, and like you have a longer weekend, which is nice. Something else is it's not stressful at all compared to French school, so it's not as serious. You can retake tests as many times as you need to pass them. Teachers understand like everything. If like you have some problem, they will understand it and everything. Everything that you're doing most of the time is graded, but that's pretty easy, and teachers are really like chill about it. So like there's no stress related to schoolwork or anything. In the same idea, teachers are super friendly, so they will talk to you, like they always want to know like more about you, your home country, your family, everything, and they will share about their life too, which is amazing. Class is also way more like relaxed and everything, so that you can eat, you can drink, you can be on your phone, talk with your friends, things like that you can't really do in France. Like there's time when you need to work, but here there's time where you're also just here and doing things with your friend hanging out, and that's completely okay as long as the work is done at the time it's due. Something else is sports. Sports are the most important thing in an American high school, way more than in France, which means that like if you have to miss whole days of school for your like sports activities related to school, that's completely fine. They will like make you miss class. The sports team of your school are so important. They're like the people are just so popular if they do well in the sports. The games and everything are like big events that no one misses. That's just a big part of like the high school life, is just sports and joining sports to make friends and everything. And overall it's just way funnier. There's more activities, there's dances that we don't have, there's just the whole mood of the school is really different. Everybody's just so nice. All the adults will be like, oh honey, sweethearts, things like that. There's just a lot more like loving energy around school that there's in France, and it's not as stressful. It's just a really different kind of thing. School is like much easier just in general, and it's really the difference between the two. So yeah, an American high school is just so much fun and one of the best experiences you can have.
So part 2 of the biggest differences between French schools and US schools. If you didn't see my last post, part 1, you can find it on my profile. I talked a lot about like lunch school menus, calendar years, and like, you know, what days off look like. But I didn't have time to talk about a couple of things because the post was running long. So one that I wanted to mention is that France actually requires kids to start school at the age of 3, which is much younger than in the US, where kids are required, it varies by state, but they're required to start school for kindergarten, which is around 5 or 6. And pre-K, TK, preschool is offered before that. A lot of kids often are starting kindergarten as their first like form of full-time schooling. And I'm sure in France, you know, when you're starting a 3-year-old class, you're not sitting in a classroom like doing worksheets all day. You're doing a lot of music and art and play and dance and all of that. You're learning through that, but it is mostly play. And our daughter started preschool at 2.5, so this wasn't a huge adjustment for her. I'm sure there's pros and cons, and a lot of schools have thought of when is the right time for kids to start school. Every kid is different. Not here to argue about that, but it worked for us and our daughter, and she loves school, and so again, wasn't a huge adjustment for her. I think also because kids are starting school earlier in France, they're also having more sort of formal, structured education for some of these things earlier. So the expectations for us going into kindergarten was a little bit higher than I would have seen in the US. So our daughter was expected to know her letters, letter sounds, numbers up to like 20. This may have been specific to our school or our school district, I'm not sure, but just what we've seen, and going into kindergarten. And thankfully she has been in preschool and all of that, so did have all of that, which we were grateful for because we didn't want her to also have to catch up on those topics in addition to learning a whole new language. But I can see how that might be a little bit of a surprising thing for somebody moving over from the US, so just wanted to call that out. And the last difference I wanted to mention is that in France, the kids are allocated into the grade that they're going to be in based on the calendar year in which they're born. So if you're born in 2020, you are going to be in kindergarten. In the US, it's a little bit different. It varies by school district, but it's usually a cutoff of somewhere around August 31st or September 1st. So if a kid is born before August 31st, they go into kindergarten that year. If they're born after August 31st, they go into kindergarten the following year. And it doesn't make a huge difference. I think it just means that, for us and anyone who might be moving, it might change the grade that your kid is actually in. So for our daughter, she ended up kind of skipping a year to go into kindergarten, which I think worked out fine for her. She's relatively mature for her age. She had a lot of the foundation, so we weren't super concerned about that, but just something to note in terms of difference. Those are the big differences that we've noticed so far. If you know of any other ones that I missed, let me know. We've only been here for a year. Our daughter is still young, so we're still learning a lot about the school system here, but enjoying it so far.
3 things about American high schools that would put Europeans in a coma. Number 1, the size of high school football stadiums. At the high school I went to, they renovated the stadium costing $18 million, and the stadium seats 9,000 people. This isn't even in the top 10 most expensive stadiums in Texas. Some cost upwards of $50 million. They now have an indoor football practice facility. Number 2, Future Farmers of America. Some schools, especially in the South, have a club that teaches farming and agriculture skills. My high school that I went to had a barn in the back of the parking lot, and there were sheep, goats, cows, etc. My favorite part was when people would walk the goats around the high school, sometimes even inside, on leashes. Number 3, college credit opportunities, which cost money. If you take an AP or advanced placement class, this can earn you college credit, meaning that you might be able to graduate college faster. However, each exam is $99 at the end of the year. So if a student is in 5 AP classes their junior or senior year, this could cost them $500 just to take their exams.